Okay, thank you very much for joining me. Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. I'm delighted to have all of you with me. For those of you who don't know me yet, my name is Baptiste. I'm the sales manager for A&K Myanmar, and this is the first webinar program that we are going to be running for Southeast Asia. Just in a few words, what is the Southeast Asia webinar program? It's a series of webinars, one per month, which will cover over the next 12 months a variety of topics in Southeast Asia, such as the key sites, travel tips, but also the newest hotspots, and much more. Which means that before each webinar, you will receive an invitation, just like that one, with one link to join the meeting. So most likely all the time we will be using Skype for Business. So let me start by explaining what we aim to achieve by this and what's in it for you. Firstly, what we're trying to achieve, well, we're just trying to educate people on what Southeast Asia really has to offer and the logistic of getting around the region. So we are really here to help and guide you through some of the differences between Thailand, Laos, Vietnam, Myanmar, and Cambodia, okay? So what's in it for you? At the end of the course, so in 12 months again, all of you guys that attend to each webinar will receive this really nice voucher, okay? And in addition to becoming an A&K Southeast Asia, sorry for that. I was saying, sorry, in addition to becoming an A&K Southeast Asia specialist, there is a chance to win one of the 2 hosted trips to Southeast Asia for you and your partner. These hosted trips will be in September 2018. The top 3 finishers will be awarded the first hosted trip to Myanmar and Thailand, and the following 3 finishers will be awarded the second hosted trip to Vietnam and Cambodia. 2 really nice prizes. So how do you win this prize? Well, there are 3 criteria. The prize will be awarded to the top 6 finishers, as I said, and based upon how many webinars you attend, starting with this one, how many questions you answer correctly. So what I will do at the end of each webinar, there will be one slide with 2, 3, or 4 questions. You will have my contact details, and all you will have to do is to send me those answers within 24 up to 48 hours. And the third criteria is how many Southeast Asia bookings you do with the on-site A&K offices, which means with A&K Cambodia, A&K Vietnam, A&K Myanmar, A&K Thailand. All the webinars are being recorded. So what we'll do, we will send the link out shortly after the webinar started. Just give us, again, between 24 and 48 hours, and we'll share the webinars for you guys to have it with you. So what I'm going to do now is to introduce who is going to be with you during this program, because I won't be alone. So I've got myself, Severine, Lan, Truk, and Belinda. So I'm going to start with myself. This is me, the second on the left, not the small one. So you've got a little bit of information about myself. You've got my details as well. As I explained, I'm based in Yangon because I work for A&K Myanmar. Here is Severine. Severine is a country manager of A&K Myanmar. She's also French. She's been in Southeast Asia for 9 years, so she knows very well the region. She recently attended the Virtuoso Travel Week. So some of you guys may have already met her or been in touch with her. Then I've got Lan. Lan is she's Vietnamese. She's the country manager of A&K Vietnam. So our main office is based in Ho Chi Minh, and then we have on-site offices in Da Nang and Hanoi. Again, you've got our details here. I've got Truk. Truk is a sales manager for A&K Vietnam, so she will also be I think she will be conducting the next webinar in September. And I've got Belinda. Belinda is country manager for A&K Thailand. She's Australian. She's been living in Bangkok for a few years, just like everyone else I introduced before. She knows very, very well Southeast Asia. So you have all our contact details. Please don't hesitate to get in touch. Do let us know any questions, any queries, any concerns. We are always very, very keen on receiving your feedback, okay? If you have any questions, as you must have seen on the left, you have this instant message screen. You can write them now, so I will only answer at the end of the webinar. But just for your record, it's on the left. You can already write them now, or you can keep them for the end, okay? A&K Thailand, Vietnam, Myanmar, Cambodia, we are all working very, very closely together. We are technically separate management companies, but between Belinda, Lan, Truk, Severin, myself, again, we work very, very closely. And because Southeast Asia is a long journey from home, it's very important that we are able to create only one proposal with one point of contact and one payment, which is exactly what we do for the 5 countries: Myanmar, Thailand, Laos, Cambodia, and Vietnam. You can see on the map here our offices across the region with the little red dot. And as you can see, we are pretty expensive. I will now introduce the teams because, of course, you will have all the support of Severin, Belinda, Truk, myself. But these are the guys who will be handling your requests, hopefully a lot of requests. They are the one who actually do all the magic, all the hard work, create the proposals. They are the one who do the logistics of each and every file, making sure that it's handled incredibly smoothly on the ground. They are all ground experts. They have inspected hundreds of hotels, from 5-star properties to charming hotels, one-of-a-kind boutique, family-friendly hotels, anything you can imagine. This first-hand knowledge makes it possible to recommend the perfect choice for your guests. So we've got A&K Myanmar here. This picture was taken a few months ago. Here we've got A&K Vietnam during the recent outing. A&K Thailand as well during the recent staff outing in Phuket. And we also have a great team of A&K Cambodia, which is based in Phnom Penh. Guiding for me is a fundamental part of making a trip successful. And honestly, I mean, our guides are our biggest pride. They do a fantastic job. We've got a range of specialist guides, and we do pride ourselves in only working with the best guides. For instance, in Myanmar, our highly qualified operations manager, whose name is Mutent, is a former guide himself. He's been a guide for more than 30 years. He speaks fluent French, honestly, he speaks really good French. But he's also a guide trainer during his free time. He gives lectures to the Ministry of Tourism. He's like 200% dedicated to this business. And I'm confident in saying that A&K delivers the best quality service in the region. So this is Luke. Luke is based in Ho Chi Minh. I've been recently traveling with him in Ho Chi Minh City and in the Mekong Delta. He made me quite an impression due to his professionalism, his charisma, and of course his level of English. That goes without saying. Here we've got Yuzo. Yuzo is based in Yangon. She's one of our top guides and one of my favorite guides in Myanmar. I've traveled already 3 times with her. She's just great, very approachable. She speaks excellent English. She knows everything there is to know about every pagoda in Bagan. I give her the highest recommendation. And here we have Vic. Vic is a top class guide in northern Thailand. Again, I'm gonna talk quickly about myself. I was recently in Chiang Mai for holidays, and I was lucky enough to have Vic as my guide. He's been living in Australia for 12 years. He's very knowledgeable, very approachable, flexible as well. He's just great, and I will recommend him to any clients. And then we have Lip, one of our best guides in Cambodia as well. Traveling in style and comfort for me is just as important as luxury accommodation, especially after a long flight or if your clients are traveling with extra bags or just if they are traveling between different climates, like this is something we are well aware of, which is why we only use the newest vehicles available in each destination with convenient space for the legs and sufficient space for the luggage as well. In some cars even, thinking in Vietnam in the north, we have Wi-Fi, which is great because we know nowadays clients need to have Wi-Fi everywhere. They want to share on the social media their experience, and we can provide that in a few destinations, which is really important nowadays. In Inle Lake in Myanmar, for instance, your guests can be accommodated with the best VIP boats, which you can see here. They are less noisy, faster, and much more elegant and spacious than their regular counterparts. Therefore, your guests benefit from a more relaxed, rewarding, and enjoyable travel experience. We also organize day trip excursions by private helicopter. This allows your guests to explore remote areas of the beaten track destinations. For instance, if they are in Myanmar and they want to go to the southern part of the country, to go to Pa'an, Molamag, we can organize a day trip from Yangon. So they leave really early in the morning when it's daylight, and they come back around 5:30. In that way, they avoid all this long driving, and I know your clients don't like that. So that's something we're also really keen on offering to your clients. And of course, we do offer private jet charter trips, which is especially really nice for all those clients who want to discover 3-4 countries and they have only 2 weeks. That's like the best option. So we spoke about helicopter and private jets, but of course we also offer local experiences. For all of you who've been in Bangkok, tuk-tuk is just really fun experience. So we do provide this to our guests. For me, I was in Bangkok this weekend. That's one of the best ways to just get to know the city and travel between different areas. I'm going to spend a little bit of time talking about Abercrombie & Kent philanthropy because it's something we've been doing about more than 40 years worldwide, and I feel like we don't talk enough about it, but it matters. So AKP, it's a non-profit organization committed to long-term projects that benefits all the communities where our and your guests travel. So what we're trying to achieve, we aim to preserve natural habitats, protect the wildlife, and also promote the welfare of indigenous communities through the world. But we just don't come in and donate things to communities. So our goal is always to partner with those communities to make long-term commitments and high-impact projects to ensure these projects benefit as many people as possible and have long-term impact on the community. So we do have a few in Southeast Asia. The first one we have is in Cambodia. We launched this in 2008. It's a few hours driving from Siem Reap, and it's a clean water project. It does provide rural communities with access to clean and bacteria-free water, which is really important because in Cambodia, waterborne illnesses are responsible for more than half of all deaths. So that's something that we really care about. And if your guests want to sponsor a well, then they can do it, of course, and it will cost 400 USD. The second project we have is in Myanmar, in a rural village near Mandalay called Sinjun, which your guests can discover when they are cruising on the Sanctuary Ananda, which we will talk, of course, later, which is a boat run and owned by A&K. In this village, AKP has built much needed community facilities, which include a house for teachers, a middle school, but we've also provided emergency assistance during severe flooding. And another thing really nice which we've been doing this summer, that was the first time, we've been running a summer English camp for the students of the local primary school. And this was actually the first time the students were able to practice speaking English. And I can tell you they were really excited about it. The ability to communicate in English is a game changer career-wise in Myanmar. It can open so many doors. And of course, it was also a great way for guys to give back and to become part of AKP in a way. So I've spoken with a few of them recently and they really, really enjoyed it. So for sure we'll be doing it again. The last project we have for now is located in the outskirts of Chiang Mai in northern part of Thailand. It's a mushroom house which we have sponsored, which we have helped to build. It provides a source of food and income for single mothers and their children in crisis. I'm really proud to say that I was the first visitor of this project because it's a very new project. And that was 3 weeks ago. So when I was there, I spent 2 hours, so after visiting Chiang Mai. And I witnessed such dedication and a true passion towards the people and the environment as well. Because besides providing a home and skills necessary for self-sustaining jobs, the foundation and its volunteers, they also offer healthcare and education support. Like they're going to teach English or sometimes even teach Thai because some of the mothers, they don't even speak Thai, they are from the Hiv tribes. So it's just great. I mean, you go there after visiting the city and you realize how much good they're doing. Honestly, when your clients are in Chiang Mai, I strongly recommend to stop there for a tour, either 15 minutes, half an hour, 1 hour, get to know these volunteers, speak with them, and admire the work being done. It's just incredible. As I said, AKP has been running projects for over 40 years. So we've started in Africa and now we have coordinators still so in East Africa, of course, Kenya, Tanzania, but also in Southern Africa, with Zambia, Botswana, South America, with Peru. We've got Sri Lanka, we've got India, New Zealand. I mean, as you can see, we've got a little bit everywhere. So if you guys want to know more about Abercrombie & Kent Philanthropy, please do let me know, or please connect on the website abercrombieandkentphilanthropy.com. Either way, it's just great. We have the deep roots and long established relationship in Southeast Asia. Our first office opened in 1988 in Bangkok, which allows us to work with the best hotels in the region, making sure that they treat your clients with the highest priorities. They also provide us with so many little amenities, nice little touches, which always please the clients. So when I refer to the best hotels in the region, of course, it's Four Seasons. Four Seasons has an amazing property in the Golden Triangle, in northern Thailand, by the border with Laos and Myanmar, which is a Four Seasons tented camp, but also the Four Seasons Koh Samui, which is an exquisite property. We've got the Peninsula, one of the best hotels in Bangkok. Aman has amazing hotels a little bit everywhere. Belmont also, which is in Thailand, in Laos, as well in Myanmar. So we are working very closely with all these hotels to make sure that your guests benefit from the best experience while they're traveling to Southeast Asia. I'm gonna talk quickly about what we call insider access moments by A&K Southeast Asia. These are exclusive, unique experiences which gives your guests a better understanding of a destination, its people, and its culture. They are made possible through our connection within and our knowledge of each destination. So I don't want to spoil all the incredible experiences we are offering across the region because we will be running one webinar focused on all this insider access in a few months. But I'm just going to talk about 2 of them so that you can get a first idea of what we can do in the region. The first insider access, and one of my favorite, is to travel from Hanoi to Halong Bay by seaplane. This is a very exclusive activity because it's limited to 8 passengers. It's a little bit more than 1 hour flight. So you can do both way, from Hanoi to Halong Bay and from Halong Bay to Hanoi. Otherwise, the driving is about 4 hours. The best is to do it from Hanoi to Halong Bay because when you get closer to the bay, you've got a 15-minute scenic flight, a little bit as you can see here on the picture, with panoramic views over Halong Bay, which is just incredible. So then you just land in the water and you go to your boat, to your junk for 1 or 2 nights. So that's just great. And the second one I wanted to mention, again, just during this first webinar, because we'll be going through them in details later, is to travel by private helicopter in Angkor to visit some remote temples, because of course everyone wants to see Angkor Wat, which you can see here, Angkor Thom and all these other amazing temples. But we also offer the opportunity to visit remote temples, which are hidden in an overgrown forest, and temples which are rarely seen by visitors, like Koker. I can't talk about Southeast Asia without talking about beach. That's just impossible. There are some amazing spots, amazing beaches, which are unquestionably one of the foremost reasons travelers select Southeast Asia for their vacations. Besides offering breathtaking beaches and luxury hotel options, because we've got great properties, the guests will also encounter friendly locals, exceptional cuisine, and of course, great weather. So I know it's not always easy to know which islands, which places to choose, depending on the season. If you have guests keen on traveling to Thailand in July, where should they go? Should they go to Phuket? Should they go to the islands in the Gulf of Thailand? It's not always easy. So again, we will be going through all these beach destinations in the next webinar. So I just wanted to highlight this with you. I've got a map here with all the islands and places where you will find really great accommodation, nice spots, like Koh Samui, we've got Koh Phangan, Koh Kood also, but also Vietnam, of course, because it's not only about Thailand. Vietnam has amazing spots, Hoi An, Da Nang, but also the south, as well as Myanmar. Napali is a very peaceful, very relaxed beach where we recommend our guests to stay a few nights. And that was all for the first webinar. As I explained on the second slide, one of the criteria to win in 12 months, one of the 2 hosted trips to Southeast Asia, is to answer correctly to as many questions as possible. So these are the 3 first questions. So I will just give you maybe a minute to read them. So we just have 3. The first one is to name the 5 countries represented by A&K Southeast Asia. The second one is to find which of the following projects belong to AKP, either Children of the Rainbow, Project Leopard, or the Clean Water Project. And the last question is, can A&K Myanmar, Vietnam, Thailand, and Cambodia offer multi-country itineraries with only 1 point of contact, 1 payment, and of course 1 proposal? So these are the 3 first questions for today. You have my details here. I will just get back to this slide in a second. Please do send me your answers within 24 to 48 hours and I will keep them. And after each webinar, we will be doing the same process. 3 questions. You guys send your answers by email. So I will give you a few seconds to read them. Again, all the webinars will be recorded, so even if you don't have time to answer now, I will send you the link in 24 to 48 hours. Okay. You have my details here. Please take some time. I mean, you've got my email because I sent the invitation, but just in case, you've got all my details here again. If you have some questions, now is the time. Please do not hesitate. Any queries, anything you have in mind. I know this was really a first webinar to introduce the region, and we will go more in depth and details during the next. So the next webinar will be about Vietnam, really a focus on Vietnam. Will take place at the end of September, so you will receive an invitation 2 weeks before. So this was more like general presentation, but if you already have some questions either about the whole concept of the webinar program, about how to win the trip, anything, please go ahead, do not hesitate. I've got one question coming here. Dulce, maybe? Okay, no questions. So far, so good. Okay, well, I've got Stephanie. Sorry, I went a little bit too fast. Okay, thank you, Stephanie, as well for attending. Thank you, all of you. I'm very much looking forward to speaking to you soon again, either for this webinar or for any other matters related to Southeast Asia. Please, anything you need, you've got my details here again. Yep. And I will finish with this one. Okay, thank you very much, everyone. I look forward to speaking to you soon. And I wish you a nice day and afternoon. And thank you very much for your time.